Hello, thank you for joining me for the second half of this video for your Shabby Chic hallway. Now, the first thing I want you to do is to print off everything. Please print off absolutely everything. Now, the reason I need you to print everything off is because mainly I know everything is on your phone or on your iPad or your laptop. That's great, but they can run out of charge. But once you've got a hard copy like this of everything, it doesn't matter if your phone's charged or your whatever is charged, you've got it. And also you can make notes on this. I make notes on all of my pieces. As you can see, I write notes here and there and everywhere. So you can make notes on this. It's a very important piece of your consultation. So that's the first thing. Now you have a UK key and a US key. At the moment, yes, I'm in the UK, but I've given you on this spreadsheet, one half is the UK and the other half is the US. So that's really important, just so you can access all the products. There will be a slight variance in the products between the two because the manufacturers and the suppliers in the UK and the US don't produce exactly the same things, unfortunately. But I have selected things that I think still are true to the Shabby Chic style and still will produce a wonderful look for you in the end. So it will work whether you're in the UK or the US. This will still be a fantastic transformation for your hallway. Okay, so once you've ordered the samples, a note, please allow yourself at least 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. If you can do it faster than that, wonderful. But at least allow yourself 2 weeks to collect all of these samples. Now, when you order them online, usually it will take up to 5 working days for them to arrive. If they're coming from abroad, obviously it's going to take a bit longer. So that's why I say give yourself 2 weeks to gather all the samples. A very quick and a very good way to get samples is if you can actually visit the actual showrooms or the stores and collect the samples yourselves. There are certain samples that you will need to collect, which is the match pots. So match pots or sample pots of paint. I will say when you get the match pots of paint, please get an A4 piece of paper and paint your match pot, your paint colour onto the paper, A4 or A3, whichever size you wish, because you do get quite a lot in those match pots. So you can do a larger piece, paint the paper with it. Please do not paint your wall, lots of different little squares on your wall. That will not be something that's going to look very attractive over the weeks, and it won't be very encouraging as you're trying to transform your room. You need the versatility of painting it onto the paper and also to be able to move that paper around the room so you can see in your hallway how it looks. Where the light's coming, or if there's light, or what the overhead light looks like, just so you'll know what it looks like different times of the day and with different amounts of daylight if you have any light at all. A lot of people don't have any natural light in their hallway, so they rely on artificial light, which is perfectly fine. As you can see with the Shabby Chic hallway, we've got two sort of accent lights there, fittings there, and an ambient light fittings above. So it doesn't matter if you don't have natural light. There's lots of additional lighting that you can use as well. Now, if you've managed to get to the showrooms and you can actually collect the samples, obviously you'll get the samples a lot quicker if you can actually go there and just collect them. A lot of showrooms now will give you samples of wood. So even the pieces of wood, you can get samples of the wood that the furniture is going to be made out of. So for instance, that piece of furniture there, you may be able to get a little wood sample of that. Some places say please pay for it if they're going to post it out to you, understandably. But if you go to the showroom itself, it's probably free because you just collect it. So that's another good reason to go to a showroom, because it's actually free to just pick up the samples. And also you may find you may like the look of a couple of other samples which are close to or in that color palette. So you can pick up those as well, but don't overdo it. Please don't overdo it, otherwise you'll be completely confused. That's a great thing. Also as well, in this hallway I've used turquoise doors. Now, turquoise may not be your colour. You just may like the look of the hallway and the look of the doors, but you may prefer a different colour. That's fine. I'd say any colour, whether you want to go from a shade of white all the way to greys or even black doors, it's up to you. They don't have to be this color. Just for you to know, they do not have to be turquoise, because I know turquoise is not everybody's color, so I do understand that. So don't hold yourself to that. The panel pins, they're in a sort of a antique sort of brass. If silver or chrome goes better with your home as a whole, please do that. I would say, because it's a shabby chic look, don't go for the bright chrome. I'd say go for a pewter, which is a muted silver, a lovely pewter color, or a nickel. So a nickel or a pewter if you're more in the sort of silver spectrum, rather than the warmer tones of the bronze and the golds and those sort of brass type of colours, which more lend to the shabby chic genre. So there are ways to still achieve this, whether you're with the silver spectrum or the golden spectrum. Okay, so you don't have to go with turquoise. It will still look amazing. You can choose a colour that is more fitting with the overall scheme of your home. Okay, so just that I wanted to note. Now, as I said, if you go to suppliers and actually collect the pots, as I say, stick them on the walls and you can move it around and you can see what it looks like. Please do not paint big patches on your walls. That's not a good idea. And also, if you're going to be having people using your home it could be a month or so from beginning to end before you complete your scheme, you don't want your home looking like a patchwork, because it won't encourage you to carry on with it, because it will start looking worse before it looks better. And this way round, it will just look better. And that's what we're aiming for, to change your story, because I want you to really, once you start this, to just really go for it and really have that transformation, because it really makes a huge difference to you, I'm sure. Okay. Now, one of the things it's important to note on here, as I said, we've got the UK and we've got the US. At the top in red, I have put the manufacturer or the supplier's name. Then below it, I put the website for that company. And they all have a website now, which is wonderful. All companies have websites. So you've got the website below it. Below that, you've got the product type, product names, the finishes, the size, the colours. So you've got all of that information there, just so you can pinpoint it. And also the product code, in a lot of cases, a product code. So that's really important as well. So you can always phone up the supplier and ask them if they have it in stock, if you know the product code. So that's a really good way to know before you actually go down to visit the showroom, to find out if the item that you want to see is actually in stock. The flooring that we've chosen here going throughout, I've chosen a faux floor. I've chosen a faux floor. It's a good price point. This is a bronze scheme. So bronze scheme is the first price point, silver being the next, and then gold being the next. So the bronze scheme is a lower price point. It's cushioned floor, which means that it's always warm underfoot, and also it's low maintenance, but it looks amazing because they do so many wonderful faux floors now that you can really get a great look from this. And also it wears beautifully. If you find that you're in a home where you don't need to use a full floor, as I say, in apartments, because of the noise issue, that's a fantastic option. If you've got children, great option. Or a lot of messy adults, that's another great option. But what I would say to you, if you want to use the actual ceramics and ceramic floor, bear in mind that this will raise the price point from the bronze. It is a starting price point, but it will raise it from the bronze scheme and it will start pushing it towards a silver scheme. So just so you're aware that the price point will go up if you use the actual tiled floor rather than a vinyl floor, a roll-out vinyl type of floor. It will push the price point up, but you can do that if you're happy to push the price point up. If you want to use a ceramic floor but you want to get the price point low, I would say only buy it during sale times when it's half price, and that will help you hugely, but it will still cost more than a vinyl floor, just so you're aware of that. Going to the hardware stores, if you you can buy just sometimes they can just give you a couple of studs, or you can just buy I'd say buy 3 or 4 studs, bring them away and see what they look like in your home, or how easy they are to hammer into your doors. A lot of doors now, especially in hallways, are actually fire doors. So they don't damage your fire door. I mean, they obviously you're going to be nailing into it. It won't compromise your fire door because you're not leaving a hole, because it's going to be hammered in the holes plugged. So just so you're aware that to hammer into a fire door is very, very difficult. Generally, you may have to drill a little hole first and then put it in. That's why I say sometimes, even for something like this, it looks very simple. Sometimes using trade to achieve this look is maybe the route you may want to go. If not, then you're going to have to take time to do this. You may have to take time. Some people, you may find it's easier to take the door off, then then hammer while it's flat on the floor or on a workbench, and then rehang your doors. That might be the better way to go, and the quicker and the easier route. It may say, oh, it's a lot of trouble taking the door off, but no, it's not that much trouble compared to trying to draw something, you know, in the vertical and hammer everything on the vertical. It's usually easier. Take the door off and you can probably do them a lot quicker, and you'll probably be able to do all of the doors probably within 1 or 2 days at the most, and you'll be able to get them all done. Whereas if you try to do them when they're upright, it'll probably take you 1 day per door. So it's up to you, whichever routes you want to do. Just for you to be aware of that. Another thing as well, with the suppliers, one of the things that I would say is find out, as I say, number one, if they're in stock, if it's going to be discontinued, if you don't mind that, because generally they'll do them at a cheaper price. And also if we look at this, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful hallway. It's absolutely beautiful. The shabby chic elements of this hallway are the console table, the actual wood base of the lamps, and actually the mirror. They're the shabby chic elements of this hallway. The floor is a new floor. As I say, it's a vinyl floor, and the walls are pretty much pristine. They're quite a pristine looking wall. The actual light fitting here, that can also be the shabby chic element as well. Easy way to do it is just to get wire wool and just to rub on the join elements, not the whole thing because it just looks scratched, you know. Rub the actual where the joins meet together, because that's where natural wear occurs. And the same with this, where the corners and where the joins means if you want to apply a shabby chic look to it, if you buy it and it's a little bit still too new for you, I would say though, once you've actually done this with wire wool and you've cleaned it or cleaned up all the debris, then please seal it with a clear varnish, clear matte varnish. That's the best for a shabby chic look. A matte varnish or a semi or a satin type of varnish, but not a completely gloss one wouldn't really work well with this. So just for you to be aware of that. I have given you the options. There's a lot of things you can buy from car boot sale, garage sale, second-hand places. If you're going to be buying any of your electrics from second-hand places, please get them tested. Sometimes the place you buy it from will test it for you, but I would say get an electrician to test it, and also an electrician to fit it if you're not qualified to do that yourself. But you can save a lot of money by buying these from reclamation yards or from second-hand stores. They work really well. Also, a very good idea is if you're going to can you see the handles on these, the actual doorknobs? If you're fortunate enough to have them yourself, just clean them. Don't change them, just clean them. If you have not a knob of any type, then clean them and then get studs that correspond with your existing knobs, and that will save you a lot of money and keep it within the bronze scheme price point. If you're going to change the whole of this, I would say please get somebody to fit the handles. I probably said it before, but I'm saying it again, get somebody to fit the handles. This will tell you all the different options that you where you can buy the handles from, what's the best place, the best way to the best options for you, the options 1 and option 2 in a lot of cases for different areas. Please try your best to adhere as closely as possible to this. Make notes on it to help you as you go along, but give yourself time. Give yourself time to collect all the samples, to have a look at them all together, to be able to put the pieces of paper and samples in actual situ, in the environment though they're going to sit permanently, and then to actually go about implementing it. Give yourself time to do this, to do a good job. I believe that once you go on this journey, once you start the journey, if you prepare well, you will love it. You will absolutely love it. This is such a beautiful hallway. I know that it's going to look stunning in your home. If you could please send me a picture of your finished hallway, I'd be absolutely thrilled. I'd love it. And if you give me permission to, I will post it on the website, or you can put it onto the website yourself. It'd be fantastic. I absolutely would love to hear from you, hear how this journey of transforming your home as worked for you. If you want to go along to my other website where you can actually buy, this is part of my hallway book. So I have a book on hallways, and there are so many, so that can give you a little sort of interim. It only gives you the keys to the hallways. It doesn't give you this, which is, I say, the most important part, because it gives you this is your working mood board, Once you've got this is gold. You can take this with you, and this is the key to your transformation. I would say please play this video over and over. You may think, I've played it once and I understand what I need to do. The more you play it over, the more little things will come to you, and you think, oh, I didn't hear that before. Oh, that's what she means by that. So it's really important, especially when I'm not in the room, for you to ask me personally. It's good for you to play the video over and over again until you feel like, yes, I've got it, I'm confident, I'm ready to go out there and do it. And then to stop it at each point and make sure that you've got all the different stages that you need before you get started on creating your amazing space. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I feel privileged to be able to take you along with me as we transform your hallway from maybe it's sleek, but into shabby chic. Thank you.